In this video, I'm going to show you how to do long division, or how the students were taught. It's the same way that most of us were taught. There's just a different word strategy. So the students were taught, I'm going to do this first one right here, that their strategy for long division is DMSBC. So this stands for divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and check. Students were learning that does McDonald's sell breakfast and things like that. Daughter, mother, sister, brother, cousin. It was just to remind them of the letters. And these letters, they're going to check off on each step to make sure that they keep up with what they're doing in long division. They also were told, after they have it set up, to put a multiplication symbol here to remember that you always multiply this number by the number at the top. So first, I'm going to look and ask myself, the first step is to divide. I always jump into the pool, so I'm dividing 4 into 1. I'm going to think to myself, if I have 1 apple, is there any way to get 4 apples out of this? The answer is no. So since I can't, I'm going to put a 0 at the top. I'm going to check off the D. Next, I'm going to multiply. I know that 0 times 4 is 0. Make sure to check it off to keep up with your steps. Next is subtracting. I know that 1 minus 0 is 1. Check it off. And then the B, I'm going to bring down the next digit, which is the 1. Now, this line is here because check is the last step, but the students were taught, can I stop? No, I can't stop. I have to go back to the beginning until I have no more numbers to bring down, and my answer is a remainder of 0 is what they are taught right now. So now I ask myself, how many times I'm going to divide 4 into 11. I'm going to ask myself, how many times does 4 go into 11? If I'm not familiar with this, students are taught to make a fishbowl. So in the fishbowl, they're going to put 4 dots, because that's the divisor. They have times 4 to remind them of what multiplication table they are going to create. And then they're going to start at 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. Now, I stopped at 12 because 11 is between 8 and 12. Students were taught that this number over here cannot be larger than this number, so they have to go up 1 at the 8. So 4 goes into 11 2 times. I divided. I'm going to check this off. And then I'm going to multiply 2 times 4, and I can use my T-chart or my fishbowl over here. And I know 4 times 2 is 8. So I have an 8 right here. I'm going to check off my multiplication, and then I'm going to subtract. I know that 8 minus 11 is 3. And then I'm going to bring down my next digit. So I went through this cycle again now 2 times, but I'm still not finished. I still have the 4 to bring down, and my quotient, my answer is not finished. So I'm going to keep going with my fishbowl. I know that 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 4 is 20. 6 times 4 is 24. 7 times 4 is 28. 8 times 4 is 32. 9 times 4 is 36. And 10 times 4 is 40. Students were taught that you'll never have a 10. There'll always be 1 digit in your quotient at a time. So I can look, see 38 is between 36 and 40, but I know I don't have 10, and I also know 40 is larger than 38. So 4 into 38, or 38 divided by 4, is 9. I divided again, so I'm going to check this off. Next, I'm going to multiply. Again, I have this multiplication symbol, and I only multiply the last digit that I wrote in my quotient by my divisor. So I know that 9 times 4 is 36. Next, I'm going to subtract, and I have 2. I'm going to bring down my final number, which is my 4. And now I've already wrote my fishbowl, so I can just look. I know I'm going to be dividing, and I know I'm dividing 4 into 24. So I look at my fishbowl and I see that 4 goes into 24 6 times. So I write that in my quotient. Make sure to check it off. 6 times 4 is 24. I multiplied. I'm going to check that off. I'm going to subtract. And I have a remainder of 0. I have nothing else to bring down, so I'm going to go ahead and write an X. So my quotient is supposed to be 296. I'm going to make sure to check. And again, as you see, I only have a little bit of space, so that's why the back of almost all of the pages are blank so that students can check. I'm going to just check right here because I'm not going to do this problem. But when they check, they're supposed to multiply the quotient, which is the answer, by the divisor, which is the 4 in this case. And if they get the dividend, which is this number, they know their answer is correct. So I know that 6 times 4 is 24. I know that 9 times 4 is 36 plus 2 is 38. And I know that 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3 is 11. So my answer is correct. And my answer is 296. Again, students need to go through all of this. If they know their math facts, they don't have to do the fishbowl, but they need to have all their work shown and they need to check. They can also check their work by looking at the back, and there's the answers as well. If you have any trouble with long division, please let me know. I also have the long division song posted, and I will see you all soon.